Hello, dividend executives. Welcome back. It is Friday, so you already know we are trading options. We're reviewing our account, and my gosh, has it been a volatile week. You guys probably noticed I haven't posted a video in about a week, and why? Well, I took some of my own medicine, and I just kind of stayed away from the brokerages this week. I made a couple trades here and there, sold some covered calls, sold a couple of puts, but for the most part, I kind of just stopped looking at the market. We've had a whole lot of news with the tariffs. We've been have a huge tariff war with China. And sometimes it's just better to just keep buying assets you want to buy, sit back and just let the market play out. And so that's what I did. Sometimes it's not fun to watch your account move six figures. And so I just kicked it and sat back. So it's Friday, but so that means we have to come in, we have to make moves. I made some moves earlier this morning. The market is absolutely ripping as of right now, mostly Bitcoin ripping. Having about a $4,400 update right now, about 5%. And so that means this account is moving, right? So in this account, we are willing a small position on MSTX. And we have over 400 shares. And MSTX currently, we'll look at it in a minute, is up over 20% for the day. So I want to talk about it. We are week 8 of assignment. And what I mean by that is 8 weeks ago, we took assignment Amara. We took assignment to MSTX. We took assignment to MSTU. Well, we ended up getting back into cash with Mara, back into cash with MSTU. Then we started using that cash to buy more shares and to sell cash secure puts. And then we have just been willing and dealing with MSTX by just selling calls every single week. So far, over the last 8 weeks, we are averaging about $180 a week on our 400 shares. And we have passed in this account over $3,000 a year as of this morning. So I want to jump into it. I want to take a look at the account. I want to see what is going on, and you can see it's a massive day today, up 16.27%. Why? Well, because MSTX is up, right? Buying power is 122, and we have some plays on the table. I do want to show you right now, it's saying MSTX is down 96, but let's remember, all that means is if I were to sell that exact same call right now, that I would get paid more premium. MSTX is up 20% as of right now. When I sold the call, they were up like 13%. So I said, stock's up 13%, probably a good time to roll. You never can anticipate a 20% day, but all that matters is if MSTX gets to 32.5, I will sell my shares at above my cost basis and get back to cash. And that has been the whole goal. Every time you're willing a stock is to continue to buy more shares, lower your average cost, sell calls at or above your cost basis, get back to cash, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. And that is how we have moved this account from... what are we at? 1 year up 83%. And then all time since we started this account, we're at 7,400. Now, of course, we started with a little bit less, but we've been making deposits and obviously reinvesting all premiums because I can't touch this money for another 40 years. So from 7,400 to 12,639. Earlier this week when MSTX was popping, we were, well, let's see, earlier this month, we were at about 15,000 and some change. And now we're sitting about 12.6. It really depends on how things are going to go. But right now, I focus on what I can focus on, and that is cash flow. Like we said, average right now is $180 a week on the call side. We're also selling some puts as well. So you can come down here and you can see the put we sold this week is up $137. Now, regularly on Fridays, I like to do both the operations so I don't have to think about it for the next month. But with it being a 20% update, I just can't sell. If I were to roll this position for the exact same put into next week, if we look at the $20 strike, we're talking about an $80 credit, right? But early this morning, this was over $100. So for me, I'll just wait for a pullback. If it never comes, then no worries. My goal is to get some more shares at a cheaper price and get paid to do it. So MSTX, this put, we will let this expire worthless. We'll keep the whole 130 premium for the week. And then on Monday, we will look at selling some more puts or on the next red day. But lots of patience here. It's about it's $2,000 worth of capital. So we want to make sure we respect that. On the MSTX, we ended up rolling this and booking $176 for the week. And what I mean by that is we closed out the old 33s for $3 a contract or $9. We sold some new ones for $31 a contract. We received $112 of credit for the week. And then we booked out the 176 from last week. And if we want to look at last week's position, we could probably just come down here. Let me just show more. Boom, right here. So last week we rolled it out for $172. We got paid $47 a contract times 4 contracts. And that's where that profit that I'm talking about came from, right? And then what did we do? Well, we did 172. We bought some shares. 130, bought some shares. And we bought 4 shares at 18.35. It's now trading about 25.25. So that's nice. That's why we always like to continue to buy shares. And we just keep rocking and rolling. So what is the position? Well, we're 100% MSTX. We have about $10,832 worth of MSTX as of right now. The hope is we get back to cash, and hopefully we can do that by next Friday. And that is why I'm staying aggressive on my calls. We have 429 shares. I just keep stacking the odd lot, lowering my cost basis, and continuing to try to get back to cash. So those are the 2 positions on the table as of right now. This is the account overall up about 72%. If we get back to cash, we'll be up over 100%. If we can get MSTX back to about that $32 range. And I have contemplated, if we get back to the 32, because we've done it so many times as of late, I have contemplated buying whatever call I have open and just selling shares at the market, right? So I'd take a loss on the call premium, but then I would get back to cash. That is one of the things I'm looking at doing. As you can see over the last month, we got as high as 36, 37, didn't end up selling the shares. Then we hovered around that $30 mark. Multiple times we got to the $31, $32 mark, and then we just fell back down. So the goal is to get back to cash. I might have to make some decisions this week if we do get into that position, but for right now, we just sit and forget it. We'll check in on Monday. We'll sell some more puts, and we'll collect some more premium there, right? So that's where we're sitting as of right now. Another one I maybe look at selling some premium on Monday is TSLL. This one's been getting beat up. Down, year to date, down about 67%. So we could come in here. We could sell, let's do not right now. Okay, we could sell a put for April 17th. We could come down here to 7.4. Well, we'd have to do probably the 6.5. We could sell 3 of those, and we could collect $60, $62 worth of premium there. So that's the TSLL play. If we went for the $7 strike, we're talking about 3 of these. We're talking about $96, and that's about $2,000 worth of capital. So that might be a play on TSLL as well. We have to play these leverage funds just because this is a smaller account. Once it starts getting to the bigger account, we will move from the leverage funds to the actual tickers. But as you guys know, like with MSTX, we're talking MicroStrategies is a $30,000 for 1 contract play. So we're just letting that sit. So that's a position there. Let's jump into the spreadsheet and just take a look. This is all the positions. If you need a screenshot or look at it, we've made this entire year. This is what it all boils down to. $3,018 worth of options premium we've collected, most of it from MSTX because that is the stock we are wheeling and dealing right now. Some of the other ones from puts and calls that we have wheeled and dealt earlier. This is where the premiums come from each and every single month. 928 in January, February 523, March 1129 as a record for this account since inception, which is actually crazy to think that it made over $1,000 in premium, which was about 11% of the capital, or 11% return on capital for that particular month. And this month so far in April, we're already at 438. We could sell another put right now, put us to 530-ish, and get halfway to our goal. But I'm going to wait and see if we get some more red. The market has been so up and down that it seems like every single time there's a good green day, the next day follow is a massive red day. So I just want to be coherent to that, and I just want to watch the market and see what it does. I could be wrong, and maybe the cash will end up sitting, but no harm, no foul. I'm not too worried about it. We're already off to a great start, and we've already hit our goal for the month of April. So that's how we're looking in comparison to last year. April of last year, we had $498 worth of premium. This month so far, $438. So we've got about $60 to go, and we've got about 2 weeks to do it. So we should blow that out of the water. We're $2,175 over what we did last year at this time. So not too bad. I'm really happy about that. And then let's look how the months stack up. So you can kind of see green is this year, blue is last year. We're about neck even with where we were last year in April, and then in May we're going to need 573. So we've got to keep coming to the table each and every single week. We've got to make good plays. We've got to focus on our returns, and of course growing as much as we possibly can. So that's where we're sitting for there. This is the money for April, how it's come in. 314 in the first week, 124 this week, and I'm holding off on getting any more premium this week, as we will attack it next week. For April, the goal is 385. We are going to add at least a minimum of $140 of capital this month, and we just do that with a weekly automatic deposit, which should get us to an ending balance, if all things are right, of at least about $13,371 if we were to follow this trajectory. We're about $52.60 over our goal. Current balance, well, it was 12,500 before the video. Probably sitting around 13,000 now with MSTX running. And we're looking really good there. So how are we looking when it comes to goals? Well, we only need $96.35 a week to hit our goal. We already hit a goal. 2025 goal is 5,143. We're about 58% of the way to our annual goal already, and it's, you know, halfway through April. So that's nice to see. We are on a really, really good track as long as we don't blow anything up and we keep mining our queues. So we're looking good there. $2,125 left. I think if we keep on this pace, I think we can get it done by the end of May, maybe by the end of June, at least at the latest, as long as we can keep it up. So that's what we're looking for when it comes to that. Balance wise, we have a long ways to go to get to 18,000. About $5,500 more is what we need, but I think we can get that done. And then of course, Q1 is 2,500, Q2 438 so far. If we're able to replicate what we did in Q1 through the entire year, we could get $10,000 worth of premium, which would almost double up the account, which would be pretty cool. Which would get us over that $20,000 balance. So that's the update for this week. Hopefully I can get some dividend updates and the larger account updates here coming up. Again, I just kind of took a break from the market this week. And didn't really want to worry about it. I had my birthday this week and kind of just took it off, played some golf and hung out. So we'll attack it next week. I'll get the video out. We have our next option series, or I'm sorry, our next dividend series that's going to be coming out if you guys have been following that. I'll probably film that video either on Sunday or Monday, and we're going to be talking about our month 8 of margin investing and how it went, just preparing the video and the spreadsheets for that. So stay tuned for that. Thank you, everybody, as always. Hopefully you guys are managing this market. Hopefully this is a nice green update for you, and hopefully it lasts. I appreciate everybody, as always. Don't forget to drop a like and a sub. It helps a lot, especially with the small YouTubers. And happy investing. We'll catch you next time.